Have you ever walked into a room and felt your energy drain, as if someone flipped a switch on your mood? Maybe it's that person who criticizes you under the guise of helpful advice, or the one who gossips endlessly, dragging you into their web of negativity. You try to rise above it, but their energy clings to you like glue. It's like watering a dead plant. No matter how much care you give, it never blooms. Sometimes we do the same with people who've already shown us they won't change, pouring our energy into something that will never grow. Or picture trying to fix a sinking ship with duct tape. You patch one hole, but another opens up and the cycle never ends. That's what it's like keeping toxic people in your life. No matter how much effort you give, the ship keeps sinking, pulling you down with it. If you felt this way, you're not alone. Some people uplift us, while others dim our light. In this video, we'll uncover the 7 types of people you must avoid to protect your peace. Stay till the end. The last type might completely change how you see those around you. Grab a seat, relax, and let's dive in. If you find this valuable, like, subscribe, and join us in living a more stoic life. Number 1, the chronic victims. The chronic victim is someone who has mastered the art of blame. Every setback, every misstep, every challenge becomes someone else's fault. They rarely take responsibility for their own actions and instead point the finger outward, pulling everyone around them into their cycle of helplessness. But just like boasting about success, this mindset might capture attention, but it leaves you stranded in a place where no progress is possible. Blame is like shouting at the sky for a storm. It's pointless and exhausting. Taking responsibility, however, is like calmly adjusting your sails. It allows you to steer through life's challenges with grace. When you stop blaming others for your misfortunes, you begin to create your own path forward, and in doing so, you project strength and resilience. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are they don't constantly complain about their difficulties or point fingers when things go wrong. Instead, they focus on how to improve, to learn, to move forward. Their actions speak louder than their words, and that is what makes them powerful, because they own their journey, regardless of the obstacles. I once worked with a colleague who was constantly blaming others for the failures in his projects. He would criticize the system, the team, and even the weather for bad outcomes. Over time, I realized that nothing ever changed for him. He was stuck in a cycle of blame, and as a result, he was paralyzed from making any real progress. In contrast, there was another colleague who faced difficulties with grace. Instead of blaming anyone, she looked at what could be done differently and focused on improving. It was this shift in mindset that made all the difference, and it was the reason people looked up to her. Blame only breeds more negativity, and like boasting about your success, it draws others into a cycle they don't want to be part of. By taking ownership of your actions, you not only free yourself from the chains of victimhood, but you also inspire others to do the same. People are drawn to those who take responsibility because it builds trust. They see someone who is proactive and confident in their ability to create change. Owning your challenges doesn't mean ignoring external factors. It means recognizing that your response is within your control. By focusing on solutions and accepting what is within your power, you foster an environment of growth. When you own your actions, you leave no room for excuses or blame. You create space for progress. This principle applies not just in the workplace, but in every part of life. For example, if you face a personal setback, instead of blaming your circumstances, take a step back and evaluate how you can move forward. This creates a lasting sense of empowerment, not just for you, but for those around you who are watching and learning from your example. The chronic victim might find temporary sympathy, but it's the person who takes responsibility who earns lasting respect. By embracing responsibility, you shift your focus from being a passive observer to an active participant in shaping your life. So, the next time life throws a challenge your way, resist the urge to blame others. Instead, look inward and ask yourself, what can I do to improve? By taking ownership, you'll not only break free from the cycle of victimhood, but also build a foundation of strength, integrity, and self-reliance. It's the kind of foundation that doesn't just withstand the storm, it thrives in it. Number 2, the envious. Jealousy is a feeling we all experience at some point. It's that unsettling knot in your stomach when you see someone else succeed, or when someone else receives the attention or recognition you've been craving. It can feel consuming, making us question our own worth. But like boasting or blaming, jealousy often does more harm than good. Jealousy is like a fire that consumes everything in its path. The more you feed it, the stronger it grows, and the more it clouds your judgment. But when you step back and observe it with clarity, you realize that jealousy doesn't take away from someone else's success. It only diminishes your own peace of mind. Instead of focusing on what others have, focus on what you can do to create your own path to success. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are they don't constantly compare themselves to others. Instead, they focus on their own journey, growing in their own way, without the need to measure their success against anyone else's. Their quiet confidence comes from within, not from comparing their achievements to those of others. And that is what makes them truly powerful, because they realize that someone else's success doesn't take away from their own. I once had a colleague who seemed to have everything I wanted: success, recognition, and the respect of others. At first, I found myself envying them, questioning why I hadn't achieved the same. But as I looked closer, I realized something important. Their success didn't diminish my potential in any way. Instead of feeding the jealousy, I chose to learn from their example. I began to focus on my own goals, drawing inspiration from their hard work, not letting envy hold me back. Jealousy might give you a brief sense of frustration, but it doesn't serve you in the long run. Instead, take that energy and direct it toward your own growth. Use it as fuel to improve, to push yourself beyond your limits, and to create your own success story. By focusing on your own progress, you stop measuring your worth against others and start appreciating your own journey. This principle doesn't just apply to professional success. In personal life too, jealousy can erode relationships. Instead of comparing your life to someone else's, celebrate their success while focusing on how you can improve and grow in your own way. This shift in mindset will not only make you feel more empowered, but it will also foster better relationships based on support and mutual respect rather than envy and competition. The truly successful person is not the one who constantly compares themselves to others, but the one who focuses on their own path, trusting that there is enough success to go around. By releasing jealousy, you free yourself to focus on what truly matters: your own journey, your own growth, and your own happiness. So, the next time you feel that twinge of jealousy, take a moment to reflect. Rather than letting it consume you, use it as an opportunity to ask, what can I learn from this? By shifting your focus from envy to action, you'll create a life that's not defined by comparisons, but by your own unique achievements. If you've ever felt overwhelmed and overreacted, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's next. We'll teach you how to stay calm in any situation. And if you love Jesus, drop "I love Jesus" in the comments below. Number 3, those who betray your trust. Trust is one of the most delicate bonds we form in our relationships. When someone betrays it, it's like a rug being pulled out from under you. One moment you feel grounded, and the next you're left off balance, trying to regain your footing. Betrayal, no matter how big or small, cuts deep. It leaves behind scars that can cloud your judgment and cloud your peace. But just like boasting, jealousy, and blaming, betrayal doesn't have to define you. Betrayal is like a dark cloud that temporarily dims the light of your trust in others. But instead of dwelling on the darkness, remember that you have the power to choose how you respond. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you let their actions affect you. And just as a cloud eventually passes, so too can the pain of betrayal if you allow it. Think about the people you trust most. They don't constantly remind you of their loyalty or prove it over and over again. You trust them because their actions align with their words, and their integrity has been proven over time. Trust is not given freely, it's earned. And when someone betrays it, it is a reflection of their own lack of integrity, not your worth. I once had a friend who betrayed my trust in a way that shattered my belief in our relationship. For a long time, I couldn't understand why it happened, why they chose to break the bond we had. But then, through reflection, I realized that their actions were not a reflection of my worth. They were a reflection of their choices. While the betrayal hurt, I chose not to let it define me or my relationships moving forward. Betrayal is painful, but holding on to the pain only gives the betrayer more control over your emotions. When you let go of that hurt, you free yourself from its grip. You take back control over your own peace, your own happiness. You no longer allow someone else's actions to dictate how you feel or who you trust. The Stoic approach to betrayal isn't about seeking revenge or trying to make things right. It's about understanding that betrayal is an external event, and like all external events, it's beyond your control. Instead of seeking to change the person who betrayed you, focus on what you can control, how you respond. Let their actions speak about who they are, and let your actions speak about who you are. Trust can be rebuilt, but only if it is earned, and you are under no obligation to allow someone who has betrayed your trust back into your life, especially if they haven't changed. Your peace and your well-being are too valuable to be compromised by someone who hasn't proven they are worthy of your trust again. So, the next time someone betrays your trust, remember that it's not about them, it's about you. Choose to respond with dignity and self-respect. Let go of the need to control their actions and focus on preserving your own peace. In doing so, you free yourself from the pain of betrayal and create space for healthier, more genuine relationships in the future. Number 4, the constantly negative. There are people whose very presence can feel like a weight, pulling you down into a sea of negativity. No matter what happens, they always see the worst in every situation. Their pessimism is like a cloud that follows them wherever they go, casting a shadow over every opportunity, every hope, and every bright moment. They are constantly searching for reasons to be disappointed, and in the process, they pull you into their cycle of despair. But just like jealousy or betrayal, negativity doesn't have to define you or your interactions. The Stoic approach teaches us that we cannot control the actions or attitudes of others, but we can control how we respond to them. Instead of allowing their negativity to seep into your own mindset, you can choose to rise above it. Negativity is like a virus. It spreads quickly and infects everything it touches. But instead of succumbing to it, you have the power to inoculate yourself. When you encounter someone who is constantly negative, don't feed into their pessimism. Instead, hold firm to your own perspective. Choose to focus on the opportunities and possibilities in front of you, rather than the obstacles they constantly see. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are, they are not consumed by negativity. They may face challenges, setbacks, and obstacles, but they approach them with a mindset of resilience. They focus on solutions, not problems, and inspire those around them to do the same. Their strength is not in avoiding adversity, but in choosing to see beyond it. I once had a colleague who was always quick to point out why things wouldn't work. Whenever a new project or idea was brought to the table, they immediately found a reason it couldn't succeed. At first, I tried to engage with them, But over time, I realized that their negativity didn't just affect the way they viewed the world, it affected the way I viewed it too. It was exhausting, and I found myself starting to see obstacles everywhere, but instead of allowing that to pull me down, I chose to focus on the positive. I looked for solutions and opportunities, and over time, I realized that by holding on to my own optimism, I was able to create a more uplifting and productive environment. The constantly negative person may try to drag you down, but their pessimism doesn't have to take root in your own mindset. Instead, choose to focus on the things you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your perspective. When you remain positive in the face of negativity, you become a beacon of light, showing others the way forward, rather than becoming just another participant in their cycle of despair. This principle doesn't just apply in the workplace. In personal relationships too, negativity can drain your energy and cloud your perspective. If you find yourself surrounded by negativity, take a step back and ask yourself, what can I do to bring positivity into this situation? By choosing to stay focused on what you can control, you not only protect your own energy, but also set an example for others to follow. The constantly negative person may always see the glass as half empty, but you have the power to choose whether or not to let that affect you. By focusing on the opportunities and solutions rather than the obstacles, you create a life that is not defined by negativity, but by possibility and resilience. So, the next time you encounter someone who is constantly negative, don't let their pessimism drag you down. Choose to rise above it. Focus on the positives and let your optimism be a source of strength, not just for you, but for those around you as well. If this video made you think, hit like and subscribe, because what's coming next might be exactly what you need to transform your life. Don't miss out on the wisdom just around the corner. If any of the points resonated with you, be sure to comment, "Thank God I learned it," to share your thoughts and let us know how it connected. Number 5, those who celebrate your failures. There are some people who, instead of lifting you up in times of struggle, take pleasure in watching you stumble. They celebrate your failures as if your misfortune is something to be savored, something that somehow validates their own success. These individuals thrive on seeing others fall, and in doing so, they reveal not only their character, but their inability to empathize with the pain of others. But just like betrayal or negativity, you don't have to let their reactions define you. The Stoic mindset teaches us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond to them. Instead of getting caught up in the toxicity of others, we have the power to rise above it. People who celebrate your failures are like vultures circling around a carcass. They find satisfaction in your downfall, as though it somehow elevates them. But their joy is hollow, because true success isn't built on the misfortune of others. It's built on the integrity of one's actions and the strength to overcome adversity. Think about the people you respect most. They don't celebrate others' failures. They support and encourage those around them. They know that success is not a competition, it's a journey. They are focused on their own path, and they cheer for others who are striving toward their goals, not taking pleasure in their struggles. Their focus is on growth, not comparison. I once had a colleague who seemed to take a quiet joy in my setbacks. Whenever something didn't go as planned, they would make a point of bringing it up, as if my failure somehow made their own achievements more legitimate. At first, I found it frustrating, even hurtful. But with time, I realized that their attitude reflected nothing about me and everything about them. I stopped letting their reactions affect me and instead focused on learning from my own mistakes. Their celebration of my failures lost its power over me the moment I chose to focus on my own growth. The people who celebrate your failures are not your true allies. They are only interested in their own success, often at the expense of others. The Stoic response to these individuals is not to retaliate or to seek revenge, but to remain focused on your own path. Understand that their behavior is a reflection of their own insecurities, not your worth. By refusing to engage with those who take pleasure in your misfortunes, you reclaim your power. You stop giving them control over your emotions and your peace. Instead, you focus on what you can control: your reactions, your growth, and your future. Success is not about outshining others or celebrating their failures. It's about overcoming your own obstacles and becoming a better version of yourself. This principle applies not just in the workplace, but in personal relationships too. If someone you care about celebrates your failures, take a step back and assess the value of that relationship. True friends and mentors lift you up, especially in times of struggle. They don't revel in your downfalls, they help you rise. The people who celebrate your failures are not the ones you should focus on. It's those who support you in times of hardship, who offer encouragement and wisdom, that deserve your attention and energy. Choose to surround yourself with those who lift you up, not those who find joy in your setbacks. So, the next time someone celebrates your failure, remember that their actions are a reflection of their own character, not yours. Focus on your journey, your growth, and your resilience. Let their negativity fuel your determination to rise higher and reach greater heights. And in doing so, you'll create a life of success that no one can undermine. Number 6, those who hold you back. There are people who, knowingly or unknowingly, become anchors in your life, holding you back from reaching your full potential. They are the ones who tell you why your dreams are too big, why your ambitions are unrealistic, or why you should settle for less. Their fear of change and their need for comfort can become your prison, stifling your growth and independence. But just like jealousy or betrayal, their actions do not have to dictate your path. The Stoic approach teaches us that while we cannot control the actions or opinions of others, we can control how we respond to them. Instead of letting these voices limit you, choose to rise above and move forward with clarity and purpose. People who hold you back are like weighty chains, pulling you away from the life you want to live. They may say they have your best interests at heart, but often they are simply projecting their own fears and insecurities onto you. They fear what you might become, what you might achieve, because it challenges their own comfort zones and expectations. But their fears are theirs to carry, not yours. Think about the people you admire most. They didn't get to where they are by listening to the voices that told them to stay small. They took risks, faced challenges head-on, and embraced growth even when others doubted them. They surrounded themselves with those who lifted them up, not those who sought to keep them in a box. And in doing so, they found success, fulfillment, and freedom. I once had a mentor who, despite having the best intentions, continually told me that my goals were too ambitious, too far-fetched. They would offer reasons why I should stick to a safer, more conventional path. At first, I listened, unsure of myself and my dreams. But the more I reflected on what I truly wanted, the more I realized that their advice, though well-meaning, was rooted in fear, not wisdom. I chose to push forward anyway, to follow my own path, and it was in that decision that I found growth and opportunity. Those who hold you back may try to convince you that you're better off playing it safe, staying in the comfort zone. But true growth comes from stepping into the unknown, from challenging yourself, and from believing in your own potential. When you let others' doubts and fears influence your decisions, you relinquish control of your future. The Stoic response to those who hold you back is not to argue or fight against them, but to maintain a firm sense of your own direction. Trust in your own judgment, and remember that your path is yours to walk. Stay true to your values, your dreams, and your goals. When you do, you free yourself from the limitations others try to impose on you. This principle doesn't just apply in your professional life, it applies to personal relationships too. If someone you care about is constantly holding you back, constantly limiting your dreams, it may be time to reassess that relationship. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to reach higher, who encourage you to push past your limits, not people who pull you back. The people who hold you back don't have to have power over you. You have the ability to choose your path, to listen to your inner voice, and to pursue what you truly want. Don't let their fear limit your growth. So, the next time someone tries to hold you back, remember that their limitations are not yours. Stay focused on your goals and trust in your ability to achieve them. With each step you take forward, you'll prove not only to yourself, but to those who doubted you, that your growth and independence cannot be stifled. If you've watched the video this far, make sure to comment "Thank God" to let us know you're with us. Number 7. The dishonest. Liars and deceivers are like storms that sweep through calm waters, leaving chaos in their wake. Their dishonesty spreads like wildfire, igniting distrust and creating confusion wherever they go. The damage they leave behind isn't always visible at first, but it seeps into the very fabric of relationships, eroding trust and fracturing bonds. Their lack of integrity doesn't just affect them, it affects everyone around them. But just like betrayal or negativity, their deceit doesn't have to define your world. The Stoic response to dishonesty is not to retaliate or to engage in the same behavior, but to recognize that their actions are beyond our control. What we can control is how we allow their lies to affect us. Dishonesty is like a crack in a dam. It may seem small at first, but over time it grows, compromising everything around it. A single lie can unravel years of trust, and once trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. The Stoic approach is to remain steadfast in your own integrity, refusing to let the dishonesty of others compromise your own character. Think about the people you admire most. They don't lie to protect their image or to manipulate others. They speak the truth even when it's difficult, because they understand that integrity is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. They know that lies, no matter how small, poison everything they touch. That's why they choose honesty over convenience, transparency over manipulation. I once worked with a colleague who was known for his dishonesty. He would tell small lies to cover up mistakes, manipulate facts to gain favor, and twist the truth to suit his own agenda. Over time, I noticed that others began to distrust him, even when he was telling the truth. The damage had already been done. His lack of integrity had created a reputation that followed him wherever he went. It wasn't just his lies that caused harm, it was the erosion of trust that resulted from his pattern of deceit. The Stoic response to such behavior is not to fight fire with fire, but to hold fast to your own values. Liars may try to pull you into their world of deceit, but you don't have to follow their lead. Your integrity is yours to protect, and it's stronger than any lie they can tell. By staying true to yourself and speaking the truth, you protect not just your relationships, but also your own peace of mind. When you live with integrity, you avoid the complications and turmoil that come with dishonesty. You no longer have to keep track of the lies you tell or worry about the consequences of deceit. You can stand tall, knowing that your actions and words are aligned with your values. This principle applies to every aspect of life, whether in the workplace, in personal relationships, or in the community. When you encounter dishonesty, whether it's a lie told by someone else or a temptation to deceive yourself, pause and reflect. Choose the path of truth, even when it's difficult. Integrity is a long-term investment that pays off in the trust you build, the peace you cultivate, and the strength you develop within yourself. The dishonest will always sow chaos, but you have the power to create calm. You can choose to build trust, to live with transparency, and to speak the truth. Your integrity is a shield that no lie can penetrate. So, the next time you encounter dishonesty, remember that it is not your burden to carry. Stay true to your values, speak with integrity, and let the truth guide you. In doing so, you'll foster trust, respect, and relationships that are built to last. If any of the points resonated with you, be sure to comment, "Thank God I learned it," to share your thoughts and let us know how it connected.